In this video, we're going to be joined with Lani Strijbosch, talking about her endeavors, talking about her jiu-jitsu journey, and her traveling experiences.
Oh no, I need you like jiu-jitsu.
Otherwise known as YOBJJ podcast. If you're new here, this is a platform where we aim to educate, empower, and have fun on the journey, along with our special guests. And today, we're going internationally. We're at California. And I want to introduce our special guest, Lani Strijbosch. Thank you so much for being part of today's episode and being part of this community.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome. I'm 17 years old. I was born in Belgium and I lived there for the first 12 years of my life. Then my brother graduated and he went to university, and my parents and I started traveling for 8 months. And during that traveling, we decided to settle down in Bali, Indonesia. So I lived there for 5 years, and that's where I started jiu-jitsu. And I totally fell in love with it, and I'm still doing it now after 5 years. So yeah, it's totally awesome. And now I just moved to California to attend the University of Southern California. And yeah, it's been a journey.
What initially sparked your passion for the sport? Because I think it's different for everyone. And
yeah, sure. So I've always been like a really active kid. My mom actually got like extra insurance for me because I used to do like flips off the couch and stuff. But yeah, I used to be a really like hyper kid. I always had to do sports. So I used to do competitive gymnastics back in Belgium. And when we moved to Bali, there wasn't really any competitive gymnastics there. So I started like doing other sports like surfing, like school sports like volleyball and stuff like that. And then on Facebook, my mom actually found like a self-defense workshop, and we were hearing about a lot of like women being harassed and stuff like that. So she was like, just go try it out, just one class, learn how to defend yourself. And so I went to a class and I absolutely loved it. So I kept on going. I went like once a week, twice a week sometimes for like the first year. He asked me if I wanted to do a competition like a year after I started, and I accepted the offer, and we went to Singapore for the competition. And I absolutely loved it. The adrenaline, the feelings, I don't know, it was just an amazing atmosphere. And ever since that first competition, I fell in love with it and I started training every day. So
because I think jiu-jitsu can be related to all aspects of our life, right? So can you talk to us a little bit about why you decided to continue with BJJ instead of pursue like the other team sports and things like that?
Yeah, so Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu stands out for like various reasons. I would say the first one is like it's very physical. You need to physically demanding, like you have to be strong, you have to be conditioned and stuff like that. And that's what I love about doing sports. But what makes Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu special is that it's also very intellectual. You can't just power through anything. You actually have to like learn the moves. You have to like problem solve to be able to like do it in a live situation. And that's what I love about it, because there's never an end to the learning curve. Like some sports, you learn one move. Oh, that's cool. You did it. Now what? You're done. But jiu-jitsu, there's always more problems. There are always more answers to be found. So that's what I love about jiu-jitsu. There's never an end.
That's awesome. It sounds like you're very like a curious mind, and again, like you said, with jiu-jitsu having endless opportunities, right? And every year evolving.
That's when I started jiu-jitsu. I made sure that my school came first, and I made sure that I was doing well. And in my junior year, I actually switched to online homeschooling so that I would be able to do jiu-jitsu and school at a high level together at the same time. Which that like allowed me to be able to like work on both things like as best as I could. And that's what allowed me to like pursue the things that I love, which is both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and studying. And what I love to study is environmental engineering. And I'm super like grateful to be here right now. I started classes last week and I love it. I'm super tired, but I'm enjoying it so much.
Balancing jiu-jitsu and, like you said, with your studies as well, being like a high level that it can be quite taxing. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you were able to overcome that adversity? Because like you said, it could be quite tiresome and energy and demanding on the body and on the mind as well. So can you talk to us about how your approach was like?
Yeah, it's very demanding, but I think it's worth it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that's like what helped me the most was just time management, because we have like a lot of hours in the day, and most people like tend to like waste on their phone, or they just go sit somewhere. But if you actually like schedule your whole day out and you follow that routine, it becomes so much easier. What I used to do in high school is I had I woke up and I did all my like meditation, and like I got ready for the day at like 5:30 a.m. Then I had my first training at 7 a.m. Then I had breakfast, had my second training at 9 a.m. Then after that, I had lunch, and then I had 5 hours to study.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then after studying, I had another training in the afternoon. So it seems quite full, right? But it was possible.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you love what you do, I feel like it doesn't feel as tiresome because you actually want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, there's always like those days where you don't want to go and you just want to sleep, or you just want to hang out with friends. But then like
Mm-hmm.
you just have to I mean, obviously listen to your body. If you're tired, you gotta relax and rest, but you gotta also think about your goals and what you want to achieve with what you're doing. So
Because in this world, right, the idea of climate change and the pollution and these big issues, okay, we gotta build awareness around them, right? So can you talk to us and raise some awareness with and share something for the listeners today?
yeah, sure. So I feel like in today's world, the biggest problem is like the human relationship with nature.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very healthy. Humans like are taking all the resources, we're depleting the resources, we're using everything up, and we don't know, like before we didn't know how much it was affecting the world. And I feel like now, as we like tend to learn more about what we're actually doing, we need to like make sure we don't continue with that. And I feel like society as a whole needs to become more sustainable in the idea that our future generations will be able to live on this earth too. And to be able to do that, we need to find solutions that are both um, economically feasible, because not everyone can afford sustainable solutions at the moment, and also accessible to everyone. And that's one thing that I think is very much needed in today's world. Um, Products that are accessible to people and that people can afford.
Picture it to someone's mind like a tangible goal and how they can by themselves or for the people around them help to improve being living in a sustainable like earth and environment.
Yeah, that's a very difficult question,
Yeah.
but because like it's quite hard being like fully sustainable, because
Mhm.
I feel like humans are very used to and they're very complacent in like the way we live, which is
Yeah.
one of the reasons why it's so hard to become sustainable at the moment.
Mhm.
But like to be able to change that, I feel like we just need to look at what we buy and what we wear and what we do in our daily lives, and how we can change the small things. For example, like bringing a water bottle with you everywhere, taking your own bags to the supermarket, um, I don't know, biking to work if you're close enough, not using the car as much, um, not buying things you don't need, making sure that what you buy is not like is sustainable and is comes from a good place. Um, so yeah, looking at like the small things and making sure that the shop or the industry that it comes from is sustainable and good natured is a big thing. Yeah.
Validated and kind of can be complacent, like you said, and just sit in our own bubble and our comfort zone and not do anything about it. But if we just stay silent about it, then there won't be any change. And then eventually, like you said, it leads to a less sustainable world, and then again leading to the impact for future generations. So it's incredible what you're doing, and really look forward to seeing what you're going to be doing in the future process. Because I was talking to it before with someone else that you can't expect jiu-jitsu benefits to be like that. I think we live in a world that encourages instant gratification, but jiu-jitsu really, we learn to appreciate the process, and like you said, like having a never giving up attitude, because if you did have that giving up attitude, then you would most likely tend to quit, drop off jiu-jitsu, right? And pre-existing and then going to jits, I can see the kind of correlation, right, from there. Question I always ask to my guests here is, what is the greatest piece of advice that you have received?
That I've received.
Yeah.
I okay, this is a good one.
Yes.
So my coach from volley, Justin Seidel,
Yeah.
when I got my purple belt, he told me that that I need to tell myself that I belong here. And so that's a mantra that I use now in like my everyday life. I just tell myself I belong here. Every time I'm feeling frustrated, nervous, anything, I belong here. So like this is like directly related to jiu-jitsu. When I'm nervous for like a competition or something, I'm like, oh, I'm not good enough, blah, blah, blah. No, I belong here. I belong here, and I will do my best, and I will do really good. Same with coming to this university. I mean, there's so many smart kids around me. It's quite like intimidating at first, but then I remember I got in too. I belong here. I'm the same. So do you. Don't listen to anyone else. Just work for what you believe in and work for what you're passionate about.
Awesome. Amazing. Oh, so good, so good. So much value that you've provided with us today, Lani. And again, I appreciate your time and sharing your story, your experience, and that awesome topic of the environment. I think that's something unique that you put to the table and to share in this community, Youth of Brazilian Jiu-jitsu community. And that's it, everyone. It's a wrap for today's video. Thank you so much for everyone that has been listening. Hope you've already give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below your favorite piece of advice from Lani. You know what to do. And with that said, team, see you in the next one. Keep smiling, keep training hard. So here e treina duro. Peace.